What's going on, guys? So just got done mowing the front half of the lawn because there's another half over here that I gotta mow. I am on the Skag today, and we have 7.4 hours on this machine. I think we have 22 hours on the Toro, so it just kind of shows you which one we use the most, and mainly because the Toro is kind of like that UTV. We use it for everything. We use it to get the weed eater where we want it. We use it for trimming around trees. We use it for bringing insecticide out. We do all sorts of stuff with that thing. It's just a workhorse. But I like to break this thing out every now and then and start cutting the grass with it too. You know, the thing I like about the Skag is I like that feel of extra weight. And, you know, I really don't know why. You know, when compared to the Toro, which feels a lot more nimble, you feel like you're sitting up a little higher. With some of the bumps out here, I kind of prefer the way the platform feels on the Skag. But, you know, the Toro performs absolutely fantastic out here. I like them both. Again, the Toro gets used a lot more than the Skag does. I wanted to break the Skag out today and try to knock out as much as I could. Fuel-wise, well, there's my drink. Fuel-wise, it was at a half a tank when I started. Now I'm at a little bit more than a quarter of a tank. So I'm going to try to knock out this area right over here and see if I can get it done on the rest of the fuel that's in here without having to refill. But yeah, it's a really cool mower. It works really well. The footprint on this thing just feels so massive compared to the Toro. When you get on the Toro, it feels kind of like a sports car. Real small, kind of hugs you. When you get on this, you feel like you're in a much bigger sports car. That's probably the best way of putting it. And they both work really well. I'm very pleased with both of them. The Toro is significantly lower in cost than this is, but this one, again, I like to get on it too. I like to ride them both. I like to just be able to have that peace of mind that if one of my pieces of equipment goes down, I have another one to back it up. The Toro, in terms of reliability, has been absolutely 100% bulletproof. No problems with it whatsoever. This mower, ever since getting it back from the folks over at Ewald, it's been flawless. I haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. And, you know, quite frankly, the spindle that failed was probably just an ungreased spindle if you watched that video series I made on some of the issues we had. But overall, they're both fantastic machines. This one MSRP'd around $13,500 in that range. The Toro, I think, was around $10,500 or $11,000. This one has a much higher sale price versus the Toro. I think you can get the Toro for about $6,500, $7,000 in that price range. But so far, I've been really happy. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update. I'm going to get back to it. I'm actually wearing eye protection and a respirator or a face mask right now because the wind is blowing this way, and every time you mow over it, it blows all of this pollen and all of this weed and everything just back into your face. And I'm just trying to protect my eyes and my mouth as much as I can right now. But anyways, back to it. Okay, so it's the next day, and this lighting issue has been bothering me because I seem to have remembered whenever I was going over the interior when we first got this thing delivered out here, and I was going through all the switches and making that video, that I never saw a reflection of light hit the boom or the stick when I was flipping the buttons for the lights here. And I found that actual clip, which shows that this was a problem when it was delivered. I got my lights right here. One of them, I can't see either of them. I know there's one right there, and then there's one right there. Yes. I'm gonna turn those on. Those probably work better. I wish they were LED. I'll probably replace them with LED. It seems like they should be. It's an easy to miss one, right? And you know, from the interior, if you're flipping them on or off, you know, this one up here, you could probably miss easily. That one right there, you can kind of see a reflection if there's gonna be light on. But I found the culprit, at least I found the byproduct of the culprit, which is a blown fuse. So the 25 amp fuse that goes in right here was popped. They give you a spare right here, and I put it in and it popped the minute I turned it on as well. So obviously there's a short somewhere in this wire. I have a feeling there's probably a pinched wire which is causing this, but I'm not sure. And yeah, the fuse panel's right here in front of the seat, right to the right of everything. But yeah, that's the only problem I'm having so far. And you can see 25 amp light fuse is right there. And obviously something is shorting out. Shouldn't be that big of an issue, to be honest, but it is certainly one I want to get resolved. And I have a feeling the wiring harness, again, is pinched somewhere in here. So we're going to get the folks from Doggett out here so they can take a look at it and see if it's something that's going to be easily repaired out here in the field. So we'll give them a call and get that scheduled. Okay, so this is kind of a round 2 for the LED light replacement on the John Deere 50G mini excavator that I purchased. These are actually from a manufacturer, super low cost, Nylite off-road lights. These are 4.5 inches in diameter, so they're a lot larger in terms of overall footprint, and I think they'll fill out the spots on the tractor a little bit better. I may not replace both of them, but I'm going to replace one of them, at least the one on the boom, because I hate to say it, you know, cosmetics shouldn't really factor much into lighting and safety, but I want something that's going to fill the void a little bit better than the aux beam light that I put in there. None of this was sponsored. I just bought this stuff off of Amazon. These were like, I think 30 bucks, something like that for a pair. Super cheap. They don't have any kind of special harness. They don't have any type of Bosch connectors. They don't have a relay, nothing like that. So it's a far less expensive option. And these are probably what I would have gone with originally, to be honest, if I you know, saw what it would have looked like afterwards in terms of the overall footprint that this light takes up in those spots. But yeah, we're going to remove one of the aux beams and replace it with this one. Okay, so here are my new Nylights installed. That one looks so much better than the aux beam. The aux beam was such a small pod, it didn't really fill this cavity very well, but this is perfect. Looks pretty much factory, except it's LED now. And that one also looks really good up there. So I think these are going to work out real well. At first, I was just going to do this light and then leave that one the aux beam, but I have quick connects on both of them now, so I can kind of swap them out and see which one I prefer. I have a feeling these are going to disperse the beam a little bit more, just given the fact that there's so many more LED diodes on these lights and the fact that they're closer to the front of the lens. So hopefully the lens is going to project it out in a way that's very wide, very flood beam pattern. But yeah, I'm very happy with the install of these. It was very simple to do. I was able to get my hands on some black electrical tape. I found every color I had except black, but then I found my black electrical tape, so we got it all working well. Still need to fix the problem in here. I have a feeling that we have power going to the switch, power going to the fuse box, but the fuse box wire going here to the boom is pinched somewhere back there, and it's causing it to short out. So we have not fixed the power issue at this point. The light on the switch comes on. You can flip the light to the on position, and the other light on the switch comes on, but we're not getting anything out here, and the minute you throw a fuse in there, it pops a fuse. So yeah, I already contacted the folks over at John Deere. They're going to get their technician out here to come take a look at it. This is the wire right here, and it loops over here, goes up, and then around here to the back, and it just connects right to the light. This one routes, I think, down the metal column right here inside of a conduit area. So that one's very difficult to actually trace. I don't know specifically where that wire goes into this area, and there's a lot of wires in here, so I don't want to just guess and start moving things around. And quite frankly, it's under warranty, so I'll have them come out here and fix it. But everything is set up really well now. Again, pinched wire under here, I'm sure, is what's causing the fuse to pop. But again, the folks over at John Deere are going to come out and fix that. It was a little quick fix, quick update. Just wanted to show you guys that I did switch to a different light. These are black, which also look better. They match kind of the configuration of the tractor a little bit better, and they fit the spots a little bit better. And hopefully they'll give me a good light pattern out here that fills this entire area. Definitely have more flexibility with how I can tilt the light and adjust it, which is really nice. I tilted this one a little bit closer to where it's going to be pointing towards the stick, and then this one right here is even tilted down a little bit more, but I could tilt it down even more if I want. But yeah, that's just a quick update on the lighting situation with the tractor. Hopefully the folks from John Deere will get out here and get my switch working so I can show you how bright these are at night. So one thing that was made very clear to me by Don over at Doggett John Deere was that this thing, and pretty much all yellow iron construction equipment, needs a lot of grease. And this gives me the ability to dust off the old Lube Shuttle AccuGreaser, 18-volt greaser. This is super cool. If you didn't see the video I did on this, go back and check it out. We used it for the RV to lubricate a bunch of different points there. But what's really cool is you don't have the typical plunger. It actually draws the grease into the tube, so you don't have that long plunger down there. You simply unscrew and screw in new cartridges. This has the 18-volt, 1.5 amp hour battery, and this thing works really good. I mean, we're out here greasing it up as much as we can, all the different points that I can see. And it certainly can push the grease in, and you can see grease popping out wherever I put it in. But I'm gonna go ahead and hit a couple of these lube points and a couple of these grease zerks and get some grease in here. Okay, so the first zerk we're gonna hit is for the main pivot on the actual boom. So grease will probably come out through here, I imagine. There we go. Got a good amount of grease in there. Got some dripping out the other edge over here as well. So it's certainly enough to force the grease through all the areas it needs to be. I'll clean this up a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna hit the grease zerks on each side of the thumb hinge right here. And this is the lock and lube attachment that can screw onto the end of it, so you can simply clamp onto these zerks. Go. Okay. So yeah, this thing worked out really well. It is kind of pricey, but what I gotta say is by the time you buy like a DeWalt version with their, you know, their high capacity batteries, things like that, you're probably gonna be in, you know, tool plus all the other equipment, about 500 bucks, which is about what one of these runs. Again, these things work super, super good. Very popular in Europe. This is a very, very cool system. Again, this is a Lube Shuttle AccuGreaser. I've had this for a while. I use it on the RV and my trailers, but now that I have some tractors and equipment, man, it is really, really nice just to pull a trigger and fill all of these zerks with grease and not have to sit here and pump the thing with your hand, you know, trying to get grease into all this stuff. Anyways, guys, as always, I appreciate you guys for coming and checking out the video. I'll put a link in the description if this is something you may be interested in. I think I probably hit 20 grease zerks just now with it. Pretty crazy. Anyways, guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, and give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.